Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we have a few things to go over. Number one, my shed is pretty much well ready to plug and play GPUs and ASICs. So if you're in Canada and you need a host, then send me a DM. I'm gonna try and fill that up. There's about 100 amps or so in there, plus I have extra ampage in my basement. So we're going to be expanding that operation, and hopefully I can get that filled so that we can build out another warehouse where it's going to be a lot bigger than just my shed, and we're going to host a lot bigger clients. So send me a message if you need GPU or ASIC hosting. The rates right now will be very low because you will be an early adopter, and so we'll make it worth your while. In this video, we finished 2 proof of useful work machines. So we basically finish up, the whole rack is up and running. Every server in there is filled with GPUs and good CPUs and tons of RAM. I had to go buy another 64 gigs of RAM for this latest build. It's a really powerful build, and basically it's there for 2 reasons. Number one, it's going to be proof of useful work. It's only got 2 GPUs, but the CPU in it is Ryzen 5950X, which is 16 core, 32 threads, and it has 128 gigs of RAM because I'm going to be using this as a Chia compressed plotter, and we're going to go through that in a different video. But for this one, we're building out 2 proof of useful work machines, and basically my whole setup is ready to go, and now I just need people to sign up for the shed. So let me know if you want more. All right, peace. All right, we are back in the depths of the server room. Everything is going pretty much well, except for this one here and Viper here. Today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be working on Viper. The motherboard in this one, I knew when I was building it, was a little bit iffy. It was on and off. It wouldn't really be consistent in terms of turning on all the time. So I built it, it worked every once in a while, but it wasn't consistent. So we bought a new motherboard, which we're going to be replacing here. And this is our second AI rig. So this is AI rig number 1. It's got 3 3070s, and they're all running at 8x. This is a mining rig, 5 3080s. This is another mining rig, 5 3070s, and then this is going to be another 3 3070 AI rig. So we're just going to get this one up and going. Right now, all of these are mining FLUX, so that's fine. We're waiting on the FLUX team to release their FLUX OS for AI. And in preparation, we're going to be building this one out, just fixing it up so that it actually is turning on properly. You can take a look at it right now. Oh. So you see how it's configured here. It's the same way as the previous AI rig, except the other AI rig is a smaller chassis. It only goes to here. So these have 3 really high airflow fans. We're going to actually be removing all of these SSDs, and we're going to be putting them in this server here, which is going to be a combination of plotting and and AI. So what we have to do, unfortunately, we have to take all this out. We're going to be replacing this motherboard with a new motherboard, and then basically plopping these back in, and that should be good to go. So yep, take a look at the next step. Okay, so we've got the motherboard pulled out. This one I've had, this was actually one of my first motherboards. There's an issue for some reason, I don't know why, but I think there's like a burnt pin here where sometimes it turns on, sometimes it doesn't. It was working, but then again, it was inconsistent as to how much it turned on. So I did purchase this motherboard, which is another socket LGA 2111, and this has, again, the same lanes, so you can put 3 GPUs in there, so 1, 2, and then 3. So the three 3070s are still gonna go in here at 8X, and this is a much better CPU actually. It is a i7 5960X, which is a 10 core, 20 thread CPU. It also has an NVMe slot here, which is gonna be really good for the AI configuration because you wanna have fast storage. So we're gonna be transferring this heatsink over to here and the RAM over to here, and then plopping this into the server and configuring the BIOS on this with the fan settings and all of the SATA connections. So, yep. Anyways, one down and a shiny brand new. I really like this motherboard. A new one to go in for the new AI config. All right, so we got the motherboard replaced and just one GPU in there. We're gonna go take a look at the BIOS so that we can set up the fans and make sure that those are going fast enough, because these three cards together, they do get pretty hot when they're jammed together. So we're gonna make sure that these fans are blowing hard enough that it doesn't matter how tight those are, the air is gonna get through them. So, all right, stay tuned. All right, we are up and hashing. All three GPUs are up and going. The fans here are blowing nice and hard. They're about 75%. It's really good airflow in here. And the power supply, 1500 watts, a little bit of an overkill, but it's what I had. The CPU is a massive overkill, although it may not be for AI. So for AI, it's a 20 thread, 10 core CPU. So that's excellent actually. I'm probably gonna use this as soon as Flux comes out with their AI OS. I'm gonna be turning this on to their AI OS, and that's about it. So yep, that's the second AI rig, and we've got all of our rigs up. And the next one that we're going to be building right there is going to be a 3950X Chia plotting rig slash another AI rig. So we're going to have three of these AI rigs ready to go. So anyways, that's it. I just had to replace that, and that motherboard is amazing. So I'm really happy with how it turned out, and we're ready to go on the other one. All right, we're back in the mining room, and we're finally tackling this top server here. All the other servers are on except for this one, because that's a Chia storage server. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be building a Chia plotting server and a proof of useful work beast. So this is going to have 128 gigs of DDR4, Ryzen 5950X, and two 3070 GPUs in here. So this is going to be a beast once we're done with it, but that means we got to get in here and we got to clean everything out, reconfigure it, put in new fans, dust it out, remove the power supply. Pretty much we'll start from scratch on this server. But once it's done, this will be the most powerful computer in my arsenal. So stay tuned, guys. Okay, so things are coming along. We cleaned it out, and we're only installing a 750 watt power supply, because the only thing that this is going to be powering are two 3070s, one here, one here. It's going to be powering 2 or 3 NVMEs and just the CPU. So even if these two 3070s were going at 220 watts, that's only 440 watts plus an additional 150 for the CPU, so 600 watts. That's still under the 80% rule for a 750 watt power supply. So we're not going to overdo it. I do have a 2000 watt power supply, but I could put that to use somewhere else. So now we've got the motherboard in. I just bought new RAM. I've got 64 gigs, and I'm waiting on another 64. So we'll install the RAM, and then we're going to install the NVMEs. I'm going to see how many I have available. I think I have 2, but we'll install those into the fastest ones here and start to boot it up. Okay, this is actually becoming pretty quick. All right, we are motoring along here. So we've got the 2 NVMEs installed. We've got the 1 GPU installed, and we're just about to install Windows on one of the NVMEs. Once we have Windows installed, then we're gonna have to start retrofitting this with the fans. So we have two 80mm fans in the back. We're gonna have three 120 high flow enterprise fans at the front. We have a fan controller that needs to be installed, and we have about 6 SSDs that's gonna go in here as well, because this is gonna be used as a hard drive plotter and miner. So we got a lot more to put in here, but the initial phases of its testing is going good so far, so I'm satisfied with that. All right, things are coming along. It's a little bit slow. We've got the 2 GPUs in there, but one doesn't seem to be active. I'm not too sure what's going on, but I'll take a look at that after we have to install Windows again because of the CSM settings and the secure boot. But we've got the programmed front industrial fans at a reasonable rate. These things just, I mean, the amount of airflow that these things do, this is at 20%. At 100%, this thing will take off. So I'm gonna leave them around 20 just for now, and we're going to leave it as is. So we've got the 2 back 80mm fans, we've got the CPU going at 100%, and then we've got the 2 3070s in there, and we've got the fan controller with, also have, can't really see it here, we've got 4 NVMEs here, or SSDs here, and we have 2 NVMEs in there. So we've got a ton of storage and fast storage, so that when this thing gets ready for hard drive plotting and stuff, we'll have definitely the speed that we need to. So coming along, just got to finish Windows, and then we'll start mining and see what the temps are like. All right, it's up and running and hashing. I'll do the full build log for you guys a little bit later. It's extremely cool in there. I got my SSDs over here. I got 4 250 gig SSDs, a 500 gig NVMe, 2 3070s in there. One of my 3070s actually didn't work, which is a little concerning, but that's okay. I could only put 2 in there anyways, so we're gonna leave that going. All of these are mining Flux, and they're prepared for proof of useful work soon. I am buying a new 4U server rack for this top bar here. I don't even have enough equipment to put in there yet, so maybe somebody want to donate me. I'm going to be using this for plotting to this system here, which is 250 terabytes of empty storage. So stay tuned for that one as well. All right guys, thanks a lot.